Hello, everyone. So, this University of Massachusetts Amherst economic professor is proposing price controls to contain the inflation. Uh, and she is not first. I'm pretty sure in future more and more such articles will come to light, and there will be this narrative in media that this is some sort of a sane proposal. It is not a sane proposal. In fact, it is absolutely stupid and nonsensical. Never ever in history price controls have worked. Um, for the reason that you try to artificially keep the prices low for certain thing, and if you are keeping prices artificially low, it means the cost of producing that stuff or service is much, much higher, uh, and cannot be produced economically. It means supply will eventually diminish and your price control will no longer be effective. So if you run out of supply, then there is no price control because it's not available at any price, however low or however high. Conversely, if something is in short supply, uh, by increasing the prices, you incentivize people to produce it. And if the prices are high enough and there is enough profitability, then enough people will uh, either try to produce it at economical price or come up with even ingenious ways to reduce the price to make it available at cheaper price, and thus increase the profitability of it. So yes, this is some harebrained idea again, and I, as I've been saying, uh, you know this is definitely coming down the pike. um, in so many of my videos I've mentioned, if inflation is sustained and a high, Biden administration going into midterm election will have no other option but to um, push Federal Reserve to take some measures that will tame this inflation. Um, Now, the only arrows in their quiver are either not print more money, i.e. QE, which they have already started, so they have started tapering the QE. And the second quiver is increase the interest rates. Problem with increasing the interest rate is that debt burdens are so high. Servicing the interest on this huge pile of debt uh, is not possible. So they cannot increase interest rates meaningfully, and hence more and more likely they will try to introduce price controls. Now, most of the people will understand that it's not going to work, but somehow they will try to sell it through media. Uh, it may get implemented, but it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a failure. Yeah, I'm not going to bore you with this stuff she has, or he or she has written. Who is she? She has written. Um, Price controls never work. Nixon tried them in 70s. So did Venezuela. So did Argentina and countless other nations. And exactly the thing I just explained. If price controls are set high enough, then there is no need for them. But if they are set low, then supply constraints will happen, and you will have to increase the prices. Otherwise, things will just not be available at all at any price. So yeah, fundamental issues, as I just explained, interest rates are too low. We had 3 rounds of stimulus overkill, which has kind of um, bring the money printing into normal economy, not in the banking side of the economy. So far, all the QEs that were done were bank cash reserves, uh, but the stimmy checks have brought all that money printing into normal economy, and that is causing high inflation. Pandemic has caused distortion, so in labor, and labor is in shortage, so that's another reason. More regulation under Biden administration, and productivity is reducing because boomers are retiring en masse. Yeah, 4,000 years of our history uh, pretty much explains that price controls have never worked. Yet, this narrative will be uh, built, and so will they try price controls actually, but it'll be a failure, it'll be a disaster. On related news, Musk is predicting recession as soon as spring or September of 2022, but not later than 2023. So in next 1 year, um, probably 6 months, recession is knocking on their door. Um, Only saving grace for Biden administration, I would say, is um, if, let's say, by summer, um, recession really hits hard, um, it causes deflation in stock market, housing, and other as bubbled asset classes. Then there is a potential that people will get scared. They will move their money into savings than actually spending it. And in that case, demand will reduce significantly. And if supply is available, then that may help in reducing the inflation. Now, if there are labor shortages and productivity issues, and supply chain disruptions that uh, uh, will cause um, less supply to be available of things, then there is a potential that even in a recessionary scenario, prices will not go down and inflation will be sustained and high. But it's just, I'm thinking out loud here. That may be the only saving grace where they may not have to put price controls, but eventually they will have to, because let's say they don't put it in next 6 months, these price controls, and there is a slight shock in the economy, um, then they will actually um, have to revert all those measures, because deflation will actually, if they allow deflation for long term, it'll absolutely crush the economy, and I am very certain they will not allow that, which means they will revert all those measures, and they will be going back to QE and the money printing and lower interest rates, which means higher inflation and so on and so forth. Now, they would either have to put price controls at that point, or they will have to continuously, pump money through UBI and those sort of measures. That's on that. Thanks for listening. I will put these links in the description below. Please share your thoughts and comments. Please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.